So a few weeks ago, we did some videos and some blogs about the current COVID-19 crisis, some things that consumers could look at doing to help get them through this. And so now it looks like we may be seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, but of course, there are going to be a lot of economic ramifications due to everything that's happened. One of those, unfortunately, is going to be evictions. And at least here in Georgia, for most folks, they're going to be looking at evictions being able to start back after May 13th. So if you are one of those people and you've not been paying your rent because you couldn't pay your rent because you had, you lost your job, there's various reasons, this is a very, very serious matter. So what we've decided to do is we have published a guide to evictions in Georgia due to the COVID-19 outbreak. As bankruptcy attorneys, we get a lot of calls about evictions, but I wanted to also do just a quick video about evictions and just how they're handled in general. So if you fall behind on your rent, your landlord can of course file an eviction notice. So sometimes we'll get calls from people that they're wanting to file bankruptcy because they have an eviction. Now, I will tell you right now, if you have other financial things going on, if you have a lot of credit card debt, if you could be behind on your car, you've got taxes, if you have other things going on and you have an eviction on top of it, then definitely bankruptcy may be a good solution. If you file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, that's only going to stop the eviction probably about 30-45 days, but it can give you enough time to find another place and move. It's not going to, though, help you stay there. Now, if you are trying to stay in your apartment, house, whatnot, you can file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy to stop an eviction. And what Chapter 13 does is it will allow you to take whatever you got behind on your rent and you can put it into the Chapter 13 bankruptcy. But here's the catch. You only have the amount of time left on your lease to get your arrears repaid through the bankruptcy. And then when your lease is up, if your landlord doesn't want to, they don't have to renew your lease. So, bankruptcy law can't compel a landlord to do a new contract with you. But again, let's say you have a 10-month lease. You just signed a lease when all of this happened. Well, what you could do is, if you filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which is a debt consolidation reorganization plan, I can't talk. What you could do is, you've been in your lease maybe 2 months. You've got 10 months left. Whatever you owe, you could stretch it out for 10 months in your Chapter 13 bankruptcy. So it may be an option you want to look at. Now, if you have a month-to-month lease, it's not going to help you. Bankruptcy is really not going to be a great option unless you're looking at filing a Chapter 7 and you need to get rid of debt anyway and move. If you do have an eviction coming up, a Chapter 7 would at least buy you about 30-45 days. But if you are looking to stay in the property, you really need to take a look at your lease and see how long you have left. Now, I will tell you, we found that there are a lot of landlords that if you file bankruptcy and you are repaying them through the bankruptcy, a lot of landlords are fine with that. They just want to get paid and move on and understand that this crisis has affected everyone. So yes, of course, you feel sorry for renters because you need a place to live, but then there's a lot of individuals that rent their properties that they still have mortgages on the property and they need the renters to pay so that they can pay their mortgages. So, it's just it's a chain. So we have to at some point start back. And so if you find yourself in a situation where you're facing an eviction, I would really, really urge you, take a look at our guide. It's completely free. Like I said, just look down in the description below. You can download it. It's also on our website. But definitely take a look at it. Figure out what applies to you, what your game plan is going to be. We always say in our office, you need to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. And I think in this time right now when it's very chaotic and there's a lot of uncertainty about everything, have a plan A, B, and C, and then stick to it. And at the end of the day, at least you will know that you have went through all the proper channels in order to try to stay in your home. And if things don't work out, a great thing to know is, yes, bankruptcy can usually help. If you have a question about evictions, about bankruptcy in Georgia, I'm always happy to answer questions. Again, my information is in the description below. And please, please, please check out our new guide about evictions in Georgia. It is specific to the COVID-19 crisis because there are some laws that are applying to this specific situation.